So you guys shot this October back in 2015.
Right.
Did you know each other? Had you ever come across each other before?
No, we hadn't. But
Wow.
I was super excited to be able to work with her. Yeah, I'm a big fan, and it was very exciting.
And she's my daughter. I think the end of the first day shooting, I was sitting with John Hamm and I said, "Have you got it clear? Are you believing that you and I are Geena Davis's parents?"
Lois, I'm fascinated by the timeline of your involvement with this whole project. I mean, it's based on a play by Jordan Harrison. You performed it here in LA. Then you did this film and the adaptation by Michael Almereyda. And then you performed the play again in New York after doing the movie.
Yes.
Now, given the fact that you went from technically Jordan's writing to Michael's writing to Jordan's writing again, since the screenplay is Michael's, did you have to learn and unlearn things when you went back to do the play again?
Very little. Marjorie's role, probably more than any others, is more the same in the film as the play. There's less text, some rewriting, but most of the rewriting took place with the other characters. So I was very much at home. I'd been living with this text for years, actually, since I was first given the play. Yeah.
So what was it like then, having done the film, to then do the play again?
Oh,
Did it feel
there's,
different?
it's as far as I know, a unique journey, which I never had before and don't ever expect to have again. But it was a great privilege to go through all of this. It was yet a new director. At one point, Jordan said to me, "Oh, Lois, what a thing for you to work with 4 directors." I said, "Jordan, I thought it was 3." And he said, "I'm counting Pam McKinnon, because it was Pam who first gave me the script." They both worked at Club Thumb, a writers' development organization in New York City. And when it was brand new, Pam sent it to me, and we read it for Jordan first, and then, it went on its journey. But when the first production at the Taper came, Pam had a conflict with her Broadway play she was doing that year. Oh. So then director number 2, Les Waters, came in. Michael Almereyda was the third, and then Ann Kaufman in New York.
Oh, great.
So it was 4.
What are your recollections of the shoot? I mean, these are scenes that are 10, 11, 12 pages in some cases. I would imagine this was not a luxuriously long shoot. What are your recollections of the challenges of the day?
Well, that was one of the big challenges, but also really fun. I mean, an actor wants to have meaty things to do and feel challenged, and it was very fast. We've been trying to remember how many actual shooting days it was, but it was probably in the teens.
Wow.
And so you do some very intense emotional scene one day, and then okay, what's tomorrow? Oh, the 12-page scene is tomorrow. So it was very challenging, but felt like, oh, we're all in this fun thing together.
Did you guys talk to each other and with John, since all 3 of you play primes at some point in the film, about making your performances as primes similar in any way, since I would imagine it was the same technology and the same company making all 3 of the primes? Did you guys talk to each other about how those performances would be, or did you just let it happen?
Never talked about it. Did you?
No, I forgot to. That would have probably been a good thing to talk about. But I didn't.
Would you like to talk about it?
Well, I think that's okay, because we played primes at different stages of their development.
Right.
Like mine was day 1, and
Fresh out of the box.
I was fresh out of the box. Right.
Is it at all intimidating to come on to a project when one of the cast members has done it already? Were you feeling like, oh my gosh, how can we catch up to
Oh, they
Lois?
never
No.
did.
Or is that the joy of it, to work with someone who's inhabited the character for a long time?
Well,
before?
we all found it fascinating, and we would ask questions like this of Lois, and is it different with this or that? She'd be like, oh, yeah, it's acting, I don't know. None of it was that fascinating to Lois.
You know, this movie, I think, has a lot to say about loss, about grief. Can you guys talk a little bit about what you think this film adds to that conversation and what intrigued you about it?
I don't know if I've ever seen a piece that was so deeply about memory and it's what it is, how we make it, how we use it, how we deal with it. And it's all so tied into people and their relationships that I know I'm just babbling, but I guess that's for me the depth, the center seed of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. It's about how memory changes us and mutates, and how important it is to us, but also how it changes, and frankly how artificial intelligence might play a role in that in the future, in the near future. I mean, this is pretty much almost possible at this point. But I know I was very disturbed. You know, I have a scene where I talk about the theory behind memory, that it's a copy of a copy, you know, that you're just remembering your memory. And I was very unhappy to learn that. And I'm not sure that I want to subscribe to that, because I don't like it. I sort of wish it wasn't brought up. But it's too late now.
Well, it's such a pleasure to see both of you. So thank you very much for being here. Geena Davis and Lois Smith, everybody.